All right. I made a video earlier for this week's review that was 40 minutes long. So I will post that in the comments in the description for you to watch if you want to watch all of that. I kind of go in depth on that, but most of you want at least a quicker version of that. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster this time. And so let's take a look here and let's get going. Section A. All right, so right here is the worship leader camera, and I'm looking this way, and even if I was looking the other way, this is a ton of negative space, and it creates a whole bunch of tension in the shot. And this is the front end of the song, so we want it to be feel a little bit more warm and inviting. And granted, it is me in the frame, so it's not always going to be warm or inviting, but we want to do the best we can. And I'm also going to wear a shirt that fits over top of my other shirt, and probably one that doesn't have words on it next time, or at least isn't as visible. Because it just says fix it in, and it says we'll fix it in post. So I need to do better. That's on me. Anyway, looks like in my notes we moved over a little bit, but it's still in the center. And we've talked about this before. Unless you're speaking directly to the camera or singing directly at the camera, we probably don't want your subject in the center. So we would definitely want that. Nope, this is what we're doing. All right. Something a little bit closer to that, or maybe even zooming in a little bit more and getting something like that. This is the worship leader camera, so we probably want to zoom out a little bit more. And 75% clean. So that means the 75% of the shot, 75% of the subject you have is visible. All right. 12 minutes. Oh, what's going on? Oh, all right. This is a good shot of David here on the bass. I think I used it. Yeah. Great shot. Nice close. We don't always need to see the face, but when we're doing a close-up, we want either the face or we want what the body of that person is doing. So we can see that what's happening there with David, and that's what we want. 12:42. Yes, this is a absolutely stunning, wonderful picture of Kelsey. That's her name. And right here, so we're using the frame within a frame here. This rule works here, and so that means that the frame ends probably right about here. The frame wall, I guess we'll say that, right, is right there, and it's right here. So that means that this is the new third. And so, like, then the wall would be here, and the wall would be here. So even that out just a little bit. But it's nice and close, filling the frame. We got Paul in the background. This is a great shot. I love all of those. I love all of that. $13.02. $13.02. We went back to this shot with a whole bunch of negative space. Just keep an eye on that. $13.08. Love the shot here. And here. I mean, C1 and C3 look great there. This shot here, because it's not filling all the frame there, at least horizontally, I would say that the frame wall is probably right here. And then that means that the frame is probably closer to that. So technically speaking, she could probably move to the left a little bit, but that's being a little bit nitpicky. So let's get out of there. Go back to our thirds here. Should be a square in the middle, Sam. Or no, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. We're close-ish. All right, so let's go back to the multicam view, and we're at 1451. All right, so this is the worship leader camera again. Kelsey is in the correct third here. But because there's so much negative space here, I would maybe take a step to the left, and that would help you fill the frame with her a little bit more. And maybe zoom in just a little bit. Oh, we're doing this again. Stupid thing. And maybe something a little bit more like that. Feels a little bit better. Again, and I said this in the long form video. Part of the problem we're having with a lot of these is negative space. And negative space is accentuated for us because right now we have that wall that, depending on the background that we're using, feels a little bit blank and empty. I mean, if you look real closely, you can see some of the textures in the background, but it's not necessarily creating interest in the background. Like we can see more shadows than we can the background wall, and that's not your guys' fault. That's we need to figure out how to create more texture behind us. Oh, nope, don't want that. All right. Okay. C3. $17.48. Great shot of Jaden here, and nice close using this frame within a frame here. So that's great. He's got, and we're doing the haircut thing here. Love it. 1913. These are great shots. This is what we're looking for. Yeah, camera 3, we're ignoring the shoulder here as doing a frame within a frame, and we have Kelsey in that third. That's a great call, because at most this body is creating a frame that starts here, and that's probably not enough to make it feel settled. And camera 1, great job catching the close up there. All right, let's go to section C. Let's lock that. And 8:55. Okay, so this shot right here, Jaden is their subject, and he's really far over on the right side, and he has not zero, but he has very little looking room. We definitely, and he's in the third. Don't get me wrong, but for a well composed shot that doesn't create tension, we would want him over here. Maybe something like that, with a little bit more intimacy, especially since since you're a floating cam. All right. C3953. So again, we're trying to use frame within a frame, and so let's take a look here real quick. The frame wall would be right here. So that means that the third would be right there. So we want to move this over just a little bit more, or we might be able to just ignore frame within a frame here altogether, and then put me right there. Even, yeah, probably right there. Maybe step to the right a little bit, get more of my wideness into the frame. Because I'm for sure, when you look at me straight on, I'm for sure wider. So I would feel more of the frame there. And let's go to 1135. So another thing here, and you'll hear me say this a lot, he's probably too far in the center here. We would want him, and there's enough negative space behind him that it feels like there's a lot more tension in the shot than we want. So we would probably want him here. So, and that brings me to this one right here. This shot right here. I used it because I needed to, but Kelsey's looking this way, and the camera is right here on this side, pointing this way, and she's pointing this way, and you can kind of see her mic is pointing to the right a little bit. So that'll give you an indication of which way she's looking. So she has very little looking space. So maybe right here, and maybe just a little bit more here, and that would feel a little less tense and a little more composed. I realize that my thirds are off, so we'll go right here. That feels a little bit better too. And something like that, or in that general vicinity. All right, and the last thing here is 1402 camera. All right, so there's two things I want to take a look at here real quick, and maybe just a little bit more headroom on Chris. Otherwise, this is a very good shot. We got Kelsey in the background, Jaden in the background. Just maybe give me, yeah, you can see the third here. If we were moving Chris down just a little bit, that would feel a little bit more composed, a little less tense. That said, good job there. And the other is right here. Again, unless he's speaking directly to that camera, we probably want him closer to over here, so it feels so it doesn't feel as sterile and adds more interest. All right, as always, you guys are fantastic. I love working with you guys. and we couldn't do this without you. And we are all getting better together. I'm seeing improvements everywhere. So keep it up, guys. You're doing well. Thanks so much.